welcome to Sunday's Impromptu Spilling Tea as to why we're late. We didn't do it on Friday. Now, I don't know if y'all remember me telling you about this, but Fire in the Hole at Silver Dollar City. This is the last year the ride's running. I've been going on the ride since I was 3, so Mom and I went off and took off and, had some fun, right? So that's what I was off doing on Friday when I should have been streaming. So anyways, I'm still recovered. Like the backs of my legs, folks, it sucks. It just sucks. Like, God, they still hurt. It's kind of sad. All right, let's say hi to the other peoples. Hi, Cement Shoes. Hi, Sean B. Thank you, Cement Shoes, by the way, for that video from the Shrouded Hand. I found other few horror stories sites that were also running on the JRC. I appreciate it. Excuse me, folks. But yeah, as usual, rant about the job, right? Yep, rant about the job. So it's still like Black Friday every day, folks. Still Black Friday every day. It was nice to be able to go see Fire in the Hole and all of that. If you're kind of wondering where my thumbnail picture came from, that is one of the scenes that's inside of a ride that's been there. I believe it was the second ride at Silver Dollar City called the Great American Shootout. And that's one of the animatronic little robot displays that it has on that particular ride that I was able to snap and somehow not lose my phone in the water, thankfully. But enough about that. So, that Torina Film Festival was going off pretty much a lot of last week. Oh, hey, Echo Spice. Good to see you. Good to have you here. And anyways, boy, let's just say I was deeply amused and also pleased that on certain media publications that aren't run by Murdoch, it was noted that the individuals coming after the Into the Fire movie was not just Depp fans. That we have at least some media outlets beginning to understand how a movie portraying a boy, supposedly autistic, and, kind of referencing, but we're going to compare autism to demon possession. Then we're going to get AH to cure it. Yeah, didn't have the reaction missing. Was thinking that it did. And the girl's obsessed with herself. I don't think for 5 minutes that she hasn't seen that it isn't just Johnny Depp fans coming after her anymore. She can't blame this one on him. Beautiful, isn't it? I told y'all at least 2 years ago, eventually she was going to implode her own career. Oh, yes, that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. So, what was the response to those of us who were coming out against the movie? Not because of her, but because of the premise behind the whole damn thing. Right? Did they apologize? Did they even attempt a half-ass apology? You know the ones I'm talking about. Autism Speaks use them a lot. We're sorry if this might offend some people. We didn't even get that. What we got is, it's a movie about love. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Love is acceptance. Love is not someone trying to make me believe that I have something that needs to be cured. Do I have my issues from my diagnosis? You better bet I do. But it's not a terminal disease. I'm not going to die from it. There's nothing to heal. My brain's fired differently than yours. It is what it is. To sit there and double down and, oh my God, to have the balls. To have the balls to gaslight the neurodiverse community, especially in the wake of just the previous year of what happened with Sia when she tried the same crap. Because I was in deep in both situations. I was a part of that whole Sia debacle. It wasn't just us coming after her because reasons. It's because she did this same crap. It's about love. While showcasing some of the most horrible, harmful tropes that you can about my diagnosis. Same kind of tropes that monsters like Dr. Matthew Israel use to get poor, desperate parents to send their kids his way. This is not the particular time, especially with the fight that we are in right now, to be trying to gaslight us. Because now people who didn't even know the movie existed had no part of the HJG trial. They coming out. Yeah. Don't gaslight the neurodiverse community if you want a career. And it gets better. It gets better than doubling down after they got backlash, which of course mainstream media is still not reporting. Who's surprised? Not me. Now you've got, I don't know if it was the director or her co-star. I don't care enough about her to find out. But now he's sitting there saying, those dead fans need to leave me alone. There was money behind smearing her and just, oh my God. First, I'm going to double down on stupid. I'm going to tell you an ableist film with harmful tropes is about love. Now I'm going to tell you it's all a smear campaign and you bought it. Well, buddy, I'm autistic. I don't make decisions off of smear campaigns. I cannot be swayed one way or the other by anyone. I base my decisions not off knee-jerk reactions, but off of research, court documents, and evidence. There was no smear campaign. I'm not getting paid. Anybody in you in the audience, are any of us getting paid? Anybody getting paid? I'm not getting paid. You think I'd live here if I were getting paid? No, me and Mr. Kitty, first of all, this big Kenny right here would have a giant cat condo. He'd have a big, big, expensive cat condo. And it would have multiple tiers and tubes where he could run all over the place. And different places where he could leap so he could get kitty exercise. That would be number one. Giant kitty jungle gym. Second of all, you would know, because you probably never see my ass again, except if it was to go after the JRC, because let's face it, it's me and I'm a dog with a bone. You know what I mean? I'm not letting it go. Ever. The point is, don't gaslight us. And also the point is, the few media who have picked up on it that are somehow on her side is still pushing, but you're being influenced by them. We know an ableist film when we know it, and when we see it. You know? We know it when we see it. And this movie and the way it portrays people like me is 1,000 times worse than anything Sia has ever done. And I can tell you, having actually saw music, it's bad. It's horrifically, horribly bad. And yet, somehow, AH and her crone-filled monkeys and whoever she's buying off to star in this insane crap. It's like she looked at the Sia debacle, handed somebody a ball and said, "Here, hold my beer." You know what I mean? And I don't know. I've got this weird idea in my head. Like, is she trying to kamikaze her career? She's trying to kamikaze her career, because let's think about it here. In one movie, in a single movie, autism is associated with demonic possession. Cure culture's thrown in. White savior trope about how she's going to educate these ignorant people of color villagers. Like, is she trying to perform some, I don't know, some professional form of seppuku? Like, because I don't know. I don't know. But it does seem like that if you're going to perform professional seppuku, like completely destroy your career seppuku, I guess that's the way you do it. Make a movie where you can piss off as many minorities as humanly possible in a single go. Echo Spice. The kid in the scene at least did a better job than her. I hope she doesn't cause too much trouble for the others involved in the movie. But she is, though. She already is. And the people, they buy her masks. This is the one thing that I think will let me give a little bit of credibility to some of the others who say that on one-on-one, she's something else entirely. I say this because in spite of what we know about her behaviors, she gets these people and she hooks them. Hook, line, sinker. Something's going on there. More than likely, that's where her real talent is. Because what we are seeing out of her, what I see out of her, is, I mentioned it in a Twitter post, I'm seeing someone who's vindictive, violent, ableist, with a puffed up false premise of self-importance. And I see someone who at times, when you're listening to those recordings, when you're going over what we know from evidence, who seems completely batshit insane. I don't say that lightly. Remember, I've worked in the field. I try to stay away from ableist terms, but I don't have another term that I have that can explain. So you got two drastic different things. So she must be masterful at giving a person exactly what they want to see. She has to be. Otherwise, I don't see why these peoples are so willing to throw their lives, their career at her feet. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Sad. Hello, HP.
How's it going?
Interesting week. Very interesting week.
Yeah. You heard the news?
Which one? There's been so much news. It's been.
Let's talk. Let's address the elephant in the room. Colleen Ballinger. Why the fuck would she make a ukulele song apology? That is the absolute worst way to say that you were apology. And she did not even say she was sorry, not even fucking once.
I've been trying to avoid that like the plague this week because I knew I had to work and I couldn't get all messed up by the stupid before I actually had to deal with the stupid.
Okay, spare yourself if you haven't watched it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, I'm not going to because I was already watching with complete shock while AH, her director, and everybody involved with that movie decided to double down
In the fire.
on stupid.
Yeah. And apparently she's posting on Instagram again, bragging about her ableist movie and demonizing autistic people. I mean, it was bad enough all the things that came out during the trial, but to have your comeback movie this that's just a
I was
whole
saying that a
level
moment
of
ago. If
shitty.
she's trying to kamikaze her career, if this is indeed an effort to engage in professional seppuku, I guess that's the way to do it.
I mean, if it's any comfort, did you see the audience? There was practically the theater was practically empty, and the nameless one, had to sneak in during the movie. Hi, Laura B.
No, what blows my mind is during that press conference, when they decided to gaslight my community. I'm not talking the deaf community. I'm talking the neurodivergent community. When
Our
you come
community.
in and you tell me that this movie that compares us to demonic possession and tells me we need to be healed, leaving aside the obvious racist tropes in the film, and then tell me it's a movie about love.
Hey, Echo Spice. Hey, Sean B.
Woo! There's been some speculation over in our community of whether or not that their professional consultation for this movie was with Autism Speaks. We're, like Sia did. Because it would explain a lot.
Okay. I'll be right back.
It would explain a lot. And boy, if we find out that she consulted with Autism Speaks, you think there's a firestorm now. Whoo, boy. Just say it. If we do find out that they used as their consultant as Autism Speaks, her career, what little was left, will be annihilated.
I know.
So They've tried to backpedal, but even in backpedaling, they're gaslighting us.
Wait, is there proof that Autism Speaks actually funded this movie?
No, but there's been questions about not that they funded it, but that they were the consultants. Like with Sia said that the consultants for that character was Autism
I
Speaks.
mean,
So people are wondering.
Autism Speaks are just a bunch of corporate hacks who don't give a rat's ass about anyone, any living person. So, this is an independent film. So,
Well, they're wondering could they have been used as the consultants for that particular character? I have now found out one way or the other. I can only say that the question is being asked. I'm not going to infer yes or no because I don't know.
I
I'm
mean, to
we're
be honest, this is sort of an independent film. I mean, if it was a studio film, then it would be a more plausible question. But given that this is a small indie film, but given the distribution at the film festival, um, I think it's safe to ask that question.
I do too. I do too. The boy does act well, but what I don't like is they really, really play into the creepy autistic kid trope just from what I saw from the trailer.
I feel bad for the kid.
Kind of reminds you of Maddie a little bit, because if you remember Maddie from music, when she would cry and say that I'm feeling like I'm making fun of them, it kind of reminds you of that poor kid they're forcing to play the creepy, starey, autistic kid trope.
Okay, did you see the trailer for the
I did
film?
see the trailer. I was
And
too pissed with how they had that kid act in that trailer to care about the I'm a fraud part. I'm like, yeah, everybody
yeah,
knows.
yeah, we are, but we already
We've been new, Amber.
already
We've been
knew.
new. I'm sorry, but I get hyper fixated, and particularly, yeah. I would too, Echo Spice. That's why we've been asking that particular question. No, I saw it and I laughed with everybody else when she called herself a fraud and found it amusing that they used that as the festival trailer. But what I got hyper focused on is let's have the autistic kid look creepy with weird colored eyes so we can even associate him more with supernaturals. That hasn't been done to death, and we are not all freaking sick, tired, and done with it. Whew, sorry, I get fired up. Lordy, I feel bad for the boy too. He had to deal with that psycho for 8 weeks. No kidding. And then she has her co-stars and director. She's wonderful, which is why I think there's something there. With how she acts in public, with what we've seen, nobody in their right minds would give her the time of day. And she has managed to latch herself into some very smart, intelligent people. So her one-on-one game, it must be something that we are all not familiar with. To be able to get her hooks in so deep that these people are willing to sacrifice their careers, their lives, their own personal integrity for her. Something's there.
Okay, you wanna see something?
It's like dealing with a cult leader.
I know.
Go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. So, speaking of which, there's a lot of
Sorry.
words that I have to say about this, but this is what I would say to AH if if I ever saw her. You want me to show you? I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
How do I show you? Present. Do I click present?
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't say anything. I would just walk away at the most respectful pace I can manage, but try to get out of the vicinity because no. She is the nope. Well, you're pulling that up.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I would say to her. Can you see it?
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute. There we are.
Okay. Is
Hold
okay,
on, folks. Technical difficulties. Some of us are challenged. Me included.
hold on a sec. Is it? What the fuck? Okay. Let me just find a way to.
You do that. I'll read Echo Spicy here. Based on what we heard on those tapes, she can probably be charming whenever she feels a need to be. The swift twists and turns she made. No, this is why I find it amusing just how bad her acting is, because she can hook them in.
She just can't reel them in.
No, she manages to reel them in. Look at all these people sacrificing their careers, their livelihoods, their reputations, all at her altar, including the people she's with now. They don't care that the
Including
backlash they're
Connor
getting from my
Allen,
community.
the
It's
director
insane.
of that piece of shit movie.
Ugh. It's got Jim Jones vibes.
Okay. This is
Go
what I
ahead.
would
Did
say
you
to
find it?
Edge.
Oh, what now? What now? Wait, no, I don't care.
Wait, can you see it now?
Kinda. It's very, very, very far away.
Which one of you hating ass, bad breath, no car, low rent, box TV, no cable, scratch DVD player, house arrest, sink bathing, black and mild, smoking tuna pussy, deadbeat, county rat, plasma center, going sterling silver, wearing shitty mark draws, miserable ass track, phone carrying, corner store fit, motherfucking no control with they kids, Reggie smoking, motherfucking mama couch sleeping, dishwashing liquid for bubbles, EBT card in review, motherfucking nail biting, no license, Reebok classic wearing dusty single cigarette buying ass bitches. When
That's what I would say to her.
No, I wouldn't say anything. Except one thing. Take one look at her, walk up, say nope, shake my head, walk away. She might hear as I dashed around the corner, not today, Satan. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But you pretty much just heard what I'd say to her. That was a mouthful.
Dr. Muffin told that she can be very attractive to people. Makes me wonder, though, because not my ass. First off, if someone is that engaged, that hyper-focused on me, and mimicking all my likes, all the things that I love,
Wait, Dr.
red flag,
Muffin?
red flag, red flag, red flag, siren sign.
Does she, Dr. Muffin, wait, does she mean Dr. Curry?
I'm thinking so.
Laura B.
I'm thinking so. But maybe it's just me. It's because being gaslit 6 ways from Sunday kind of opens your eyes up to the world a little bit. And if somebody is mimicking me to that point, I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna get creeped out. I'm gonna back away slowly. Granted, I say that after having been reeled in by not one, but 2 narcissists.
Gosh. Yes. Oh, yes. Elaine couldn't even get the name right when she was, doing the direct examination for Dr. Hughes. She kept saying, this is Elaine when she was doing the direct examination for Dr. Hughes. Dr. Curry. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Dr. Hughes. She did it 3 times. I'm not kidding you.
Let's not forget the Amica. Amica. Like, mother of God.
And when she forgot to turn on her mic for the 1,000th time, one time the nameless one had to turn it on for her. That was pretty funny.
But yeah, it's not an intelligent idea when you're already in trouble for being a psychopath to then go on and do an ableist film, especially not in the year after the music debacle. And then to then try again and turn around and say it's about love.
Wait, that music came out in 2020.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, these last few years have blurred together for me. I think they have for everybody.
Yeah, with Britney and all that.
And JRC in 2021, you want to talk about everything that I was doing at that point completely shifted.
Yep.
Because I was solely doing JD stuff while talking about person-centered planning and educating all of that stuff. But the moment that happened and the DC Circuit Court overturned that ban on that electric skin shock device used to torture people like me, everything pivoted.
Like both of us.
Everything else became secondary. Not that I don't care about JD and what was going on, but
I know, but
those kids are still there. It's
yes, and we were working on, covering the Judge Rotenberg Center and basically the atrocities of Matthew Israel.
And the fact that they're still going on. Kids are shocking, screaming in pain while we're talking right now.
People
everything
like Andre McCullens, Jennifer Musumba.
Everything
fact that
had
they
to
even
switch.
covered it, the fact that it's gotten very little coverage, it was just a human interest story on the Today Show, not an exclusive breaking news.
Let someone explain this to me. AH is supposedly stunning and brave, and this is a travesty and injustice. No. Then you got Andre McCullens.
We need the United Nations to
over a decade after he was tortured on that video over 31 times.
Yes.
Where he and his mom are right now is in New York. They are the ones who helped write Andre's bill that will keep no more New York students ever sent to the JRC again. He's staring down his abusers and torturers, lobbyists. He's staring them down. That's stunning.
Yes. The fact that this place is still open after 6 people have died, I mean, they have connections in government. That's why this place is still open. They funded re-election campaigns.
It is a dark rabbit hole.
Yes.
And it's like a bottomless rabbit hole.
And guess whose campaign they funded? I'll take a guess. Guess whose campaign the JRC funded?
Wouldn't be surprised. They funded
Rudy
a lot.
Giuliani.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I looked it up, and I looked it up. I looked up the JRC, and one kid's the GED burned the skin off of a kid's feet.
Yep.
I mean, it'll be a miracle if he ever walks again. Oh my gosh, Echo! Did you see what Echo Spice wrote? Do you think we could get Elaine to work with the JRC? That might actually get us somewhere. Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
Echo Spice, why? Why? Of all days,
No, for real though.
why
Could you imagine
today?
that? Explain to me how that's not torture, ma'am. I'm trying.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe
And
onto something there. I don't know.
Besides, when the JRC's finally exposed, the Elaine will get her 15 minutes of fame. because well, Amica. and
Oh my god, it's like a comedy sketch.
yes. I mean, yes, yes.
The subject isn't funny, folks. It's just we've been through hell just simply researching it and spreading the
Yes.
news and getting attacked from
We
everywhere.
needed a good laugh. That was a good laugh. Besides, when one person, when I came across an Amber supporter who said, I can't believe why Amber Heard lost," and you know how I responded? I said to them, because instead of hiring actual trained lawyers, she hired a James Bond villain with a bad name who was bullied as a child, and Carol Burnett to represent her. The James Bond villain being rotten.
She lost because of that Bizarro World performance. Yes. I don't know what the hell that was, but it wasn't a testimony.
Wait, what? Are you talking about Amber
Heard? Performance on the stand. The whole time. And I was on calls, mind you. It was playing in the background when she was testifying. And there were times that I would stop.
I could hear the circus music when she was testifying.
I would turn around and just stare. And thankfully, they were watching too. And they're like, oh my God, did you see that? I don't know what that was.
Yes. But the whole world saw. Yes, Laura B., her lawyers were a joke.
I wish the JRC's lawyers were a joke. Gaslighting, freaking. Mm-hmm. And by the way, why is she stunning and brave, but we are completely ignoring the bravery of Andre McCollins and Jennifer
Masamba.
Yeah.
That woman. If we want to talk about brave women, let's talk about Jennifer Masamba. I have to go.
All right.
I'll see you.
See you later, HP. Thank you for coming on. All right, but yeah, you want to talk brave. Jennifer Masamba, Andre McCollins were brutalized, tortured, starved, sleep deprived. They have testified at every single hearing that comes to the JRC. Every single one of them. The FDA hearings. Every single Congress session in Massachusetts. They have spoken before the United States Congress. They are right now speaking with the Congress and Senate of the state of New York. Because of their efforts, Andre's bill, which is going to stop any kids from being sent to any place in the United States where aversive therapies are used. Now that's stunning. That is brave. Don't see the media celebrating them. Where are their accolades? Where are the media declaring how strong of a woman Jennifer Masamba must be? Where are they? Because I haven't seen anything. Just saying. But to get back to the original point, because we're kind of running low on time here, the neurodivergent community is raw right now. We are exhausted. We're getting attacked from every angle on multiple fronts. Hey, Chairman.
Hey.
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 For AH and friends to think it would be a good idea to gaslight my community by saying their ableist train wreck of a film is about love makes them exceptionally tone deaf at best, trying to commit professional seppuku to their whole careers at most. How you doing, Chairman?
All right. Did you hear what's going on in the Netherlands?
Oh God, what's going on?
They're how can I say this? They're killing people who are mentally and physically impaired.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Eugenics. Just like the Nazis. The government's doing it. I got the news article on my Discord server.
Jesus.
I would send it to you, but I don't have Facebook.
I do have Facebook and Twitter and an Instagram, but
yeah,
my
I don't have
Facebook
any of that.
And my Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. I only have Discord.
Well, let's look it up real quick. We're coming low on time, but let's look into this real quick.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late.
You're fine. You're all going to get a real close-up of my face. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, the Netherlands. A friend on YouTube told me about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They're pretty much doing what the Nazis did to the Jews and the Gypsies and everybody else that was different.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, folks.
Yeah. I thought that might get your attention.
Okay, so folks, got an article up. It's by the New York Post. It may accidentally throw me off. If it does, I will try to come back, but I'm going to go ahead and try to present it. We are going to share screen.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Here we are. All right, so we're going to read through this.
Uh-oh.
Netherlands doctors are euthanizing people with autism, intellectual disabilities.
Yeah. Your mic's breaking up.
Yeah, I know.
Bet that's YouTube doing that crap.
Probably.
Don't like it when someone tells about the news, huh?
Yes and not. All right, folks. Hold on. I'm going to stop camera and I'm just going to read it to you. Bear with me a moment.
Yeah.
Stop sharing. I'm just going to read it to you, folks. Let me know if my voice is still robotic.
No, it's good now.
All right, I'm just going to read it to you all. And I'll put the link in the chat. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. So
Okay.
anyone who wants to what we are about to read, I am putting it in the chat now, if it will let me. There we are.
Let you. Better let you.
All right, so let's read this here. Several Dutch citizens who had autism or other intellectual disabilities have died by physician-assisted suicide in recent years after doctors determined their afflictions were untreatable obstacles to a normal life, researchers found. Nearly 40 people who identified as autistic or intellectually disabled were legally euthanized in the Netherlands between 2012 and 2021, according to a Kingston University investigation of Dutch euthanasia cases. 5 people younger than 30 who were killed at their own request cited autism as a sole or major reason for that decision to end their lives, the UK study found. With those cases, experts have questioned whether the law allowing doctors to kill suicidal patients via lethal injections has strayed too far from its initial intentions when passed in 2002. Casper Roos, an ethicist and public health professor at Belgium's Ghent University, said the types of patients seeking out physician-assisted suicide have changed greatly over the past 2 decades in both the Netherlands and Belgium, where it is also legal. When the Netherlands became the first country to legalize human euthanasia, the debate focused on people with cancer, not those with autism, Roos said. Patients must meet strict requirements, including suffering from an incurable illness that causes unbearable physical or mental anguish to be eligible for euthanasia. But doctors ultimately decide who qualifies. In roughly 10-year period, the study found on nearly 60,000 people decided to die via euthanasia in the Netherlands, according to the Dutch government's Euthanasia Review Committee. As of this, the committee has released documents and data on 900 cases in an effort of transparency. Kingston University researchers looked at those 900 cases and found 39 of them that had autism or an intellectual disability. Of the 39, 18 were younger than 50 years old. Many of the patients cited a number of mental, physical, and age-related ailments as the reason for ending their lives, including unbearable loneliness. 8 people, however, named the sole cause of their suffering as factors related to their intellectual disability, such as social isolation, a lack of coping strategies, an inability to adjust or change oversensitivity to stimuli. One of the report's main authors, Irene Tafri-Wine, a palliative care specialist at Kingston University, questioned the ethics of ending the lives of the autistic. There is no doubt in my mind these people were suffering, she said. God, here we go with the suffering. But is society really okay with sending this message that there's no other way to help them and it's just better to be dead? One of the 8 people cited in the study was an autistic man in his 20s. He reported feeling unhappy since childhood and was regularly bullied, according to his case notes. The man longed for social contacts but was unable to connect with others, and eventually decided he wanted to die because having to live this way for years was an abomination. Dutch psychiatrist Dr. Bram Sizzo was also disturbed by the trend. Some of them are almost excited at the prospect of death, Sizzo said. They think this will be the end of their problems and the end of their family's problems. In a third of cases, Dutch doctors determined that there was no prospect of improvement for people with autism in intellectual studies, according to the study. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Yeah.
And the doctors don't help because they do that. They do that from the day we're diagnosed. It's never going to get better. You're just going to have to accept that you're never going to be able to live on your own and do all these things. Well, Karen, I did them all. Systematically even. Just to make a point. Never lived on my own. Been on my own since I was 18. Begged through years that I had to stay with my mom for 2 years because narc relationship. Not related to autism, folks. But technically been on my own since I was 18. Always would need somebody to take care of you. Nobody takes care of me. I take care of other people. Literally no one takes care of me. I mean, guess technically my cat takes care of my emotional needs. That's pretty much how it goes. I take care of everyone else. As far as never being able to go out and achieve careers like the other kids, wheeled and dealed at my state capitol and on the national level. I helped bring about one of the main pushers, among others, and allies behind the Employment First initiative. Been one of the individuals involved with shutting down sheltered workshops. I've done all of those things. It's the lie. And that lie, when those kids are disconnected from the rest of the community, it's killer by itself, but now the government is just agreeing with it. I remember feeling like there was no way out. Bullied, lonely. I've lived that. But to actually, instead of doing your work as a medical professional and getting referrals in to get these folks to therapy, to find outlets, get them connected with disability rights groups, get them involved, particularly in their own neurodivergent community, they're lifesavers. To just say, no. This is the only
Yeah, I should have warned you about triggering.
I feel more often than not, just from fighting the JRC, that I'm still fighting the same fight my grandfather did when he was fighting the fucking Nazis. It's the same fight. It's just camouflaged differently now.
Yeah.
Still the undesirables versus the desirables. And you could see that clearly when 2020 was happening, when they were trying to get the elderly and the disabled to give over the vents to the abled people. It wasn't a lie, folks. I know people who worked in the medical field. That was literal. I know to the few people who are still on here how particularly triggering this was. Kind of a heck of a way to end this evening's stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to, and I'm going to be digging more into it. What is this criteria, and why is it being left up to the individual doctors instead of a governing body? Why isn't there set in stone rules? Just like there is with anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Slippery slope. And we're traveling backwards at the speed of light.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chairman, I do appreciate you sharing that with me.
All right.
This is another reason that movies like Into the Fire are harmful, because it's not just harmful to how the public views us, it's harmful on how many of us see ourselves.
Yeah.
Hopefully, some people will start getting the point.
I can't believe Amber Heard made that movie. Jesus Christ. That should have been a movie that should have been shut down.
It should have never been greenlit in the first place. And I'm sorry. I know it'll be groups stood by Johnny and let him do his puffins, whatever. I don't care.
Mm.
Any more than I cared that Sia was his supporter. I know that's what AH claims. We're just following whatever Johnny does. I have come hard for people who supported him doing ableist, hateful, harmful things. I'm consistent. I'm going to come for her just the same as I went after Sia. And anybody else who's been a moron, unsensitive, yeah, we won't go into that. I'll probably get myself banned off the platform. But this is why representation matters. Not just good representation, but bad representation. You show someone who's autistic, who's already depressed and isolated, like these guys who elected to get themselves euthanized, and you show them stuff like this, and the media applauds it. How do you think that makes them feel? People need to think before they go, and you can be on her side all you want to, but you need to think about the ramifications of stuff like this that is absolutely separate from her. Not everything is about her. This stuff has real life consequences, like Chairman just showed you tonight. This is not a joke to us. This is why we are so angry about that movie. And this is why we get very upset when you double down and try to tell us it's about love. All right, I'm gonna need to calm down after all of this.
Yeah.
But thank you, Chairman.
No problem. I thought you might wanted to see that. I should have warned you about triggering, but oh well. Sorry.
No, but I'm glad you did, because it makes my point. People have been pushing me and the whole neurodiversity community off. It doesn't do one thing or the other, but it does. It's those real life consequences they never want to face up to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Echo Spice. All right, Chairman, thank you for coming on at the end of this evening, folks. Thank
No
all
problem.
of you who came in to not come into Wayfair. My God, I'm brain dead today. Thank you for coming on to Spilling Tea. I hope you all have a great evening. I will go ahead and see you all next time. You all have a great night.
Yeah.
And before we close out, folks, let this be the final thought. Exactly. All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
All right.